Gard gave you tonight from, mostly in the second half, but even probably from start to finish in the 10 minutes he played?
Yeah, I think, it's what specifically against a team like Rutgers where you have to handle the pressure and counter the pressure. He added a piece that we've been missing. He gave us another dribble attack guy along with Chucky and AJ, or Chucky and John. And he just brings energy to the floor. Defensively, he ripped the ball loose from Omarue off a rebound. I mean, he's a pit bull, and that's what we missed. The toughness and the grittiness and the little feistiness he brings to the floor. And it was good to see him. Came back in pretty fine form, but didn't expect that. But he definitely gave us a boost.
Greg, Kamari obviously had the big game, so did John, and you didn't have either of those two when you played these guys in Jersey. Just how important is it to have your full complement of bench pieces to get this team where it's trying to go?
Specifically against, as I mentioned, specifically against a team like that, the pressures, is coming up into you, trying to, you don't run a lot of offense, you don't run a lot of sets. You get to some formations and you run, we ran more just ball screen motion tonight than we have all year, just because we didn't want to sit and let them just lock into us and climb into us. So you play a little small ball, you play where we can just attack, and guys, did a good job of that. But those two guys specifically, looking back at the game out there, is we missed that. That was we did not handle it well, but we also didn't have the guys that can handle it well, that are built for that and made for that type of play. Go ahead.
How's Max doing? Was he able to come back and just didn't need to, or?
I mean, he's a little sore. Says he's going to be okay. We'll see. I was given multiple messages on the bench. He was ready. He was on the bike. He wasn't ready. He was back with the trainer. He was back on the bike. So as long as we were okay, I felt the guys that were out there were giving us a pretty good spark. We were just going to roll with that crew.
Nick?
Hey Greg, you mentioned kind of that small ball and a little bit of that spark specifically in the second half. What did you love on both ends that kind of extended that lead? And then when AJ came in, how did he kind of continue that with attacking? I know making the extra pass to John too.
Yeah, that was a beautiful offensive possession there with Johnny, or with Chucky starting it on the other end, but on the other side of the floor. But defensively, we turned our defense into offense. We were able to. That's a hard team to score against. So if you can get them in transition and get some easy baskets, I thought also in the first half getting to the free throw line, getting to the bonus relatively quick was big. I thought Chucky made some big plays when we were struggling and scuffling, and we turned the ball over too much early and played a little too fast, and just settled in a little bit. And then obviously in the second half, I thought we were much better. Obviously defensively, we got them under one both halves. So we just were able to do a lot of good things and play in transition, which this group is good at when they get going.
Michael, then Jim and Jeff.
Steve didn't shoot well, but stop him from shooting. I guess is that what you need from him?
Yeah, I mean, obviously he gets a double-double. I don't know if he got all of his rebounds on one possession there. So you got to stop padding your stats. But no, he was just, he's got to continue to go to him. Sometimes with the pressure, it's hard to get it, because we end up making a play before we can really get him into where we need to. And he got better in the second half at running to the rim. We talked about that. And ball screen, just put yourself on the rim, and these guys will find you. You clean up the mess that's there, and he did that and was physical and aggressive, which was good.
Jim?
When guys sit out for a while, there's sometimes a tendency to try to make up for lost time.
Mm-hmm.
Kamari seemed in control. Did you like that?
Yeah, he did. And he's been on a pitch count. He was on a pitch count tonight. And in practice, he's gotten a little rep with the scout team just to try to knock some rust off. And then I brought him over, and he's practiced 3 days. But it's still, we'll continue to manage it and listen to what the medical people say, and the trainers and the doctors. But I didn't even have to say anything to him about it. I thought about it at shoot around today. Do I, just remind him? But he's mature. He understands, and he understands what this team needs. We missed his, albeit just small minutes. We missed that personality on the floor that he brings.
You mentioned that the offensive rebounds by Crowell, but that sequence, what does that tell you about your team? It was a 4-point game there, and if you miss a couple shots and don't get the ball and they don't come and score, you can kind of flip it in a hurry.
Yeah, I mean, we've been in a lot of, that's one thing about this group, as we've gone through, tougher times. They haven't broke. They keep coming practicing well. I thought we practiced really well for 3 days. I anticipated us to play decently well tonight. They haven't flinched and felt sorry for themselves. They understand, this is part of it, part of the journey. Continue to get yourself out of the, predicament you're in, and continue to get better. And the next 40 minutes is what we need to focus on. And they did a good job of preparing for that, coming off of Saturday's game and really flushing it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and getting ready for tonight.
On the stage coaching back.
Yeah.
Greg, at the beginning of the week, most experts, bracketologists had you guys firmly in the tournament. Regardless of what happens Saturday at Purdue, next week in Minneapolis, do you guys think you've done enough already to deserve a berth?
I don't even really get into that. I mean, our body of work speaks for itself. You look at who we played and what we did throughout the course of the year. Yeah, I mean, I think it's I don't think, if you look at, again, you go back to November, December, January, you sputter a little bit in February, we've got a really good resume. I'm not gonna get it on the quad ones, quads twos, and who's played who, and who has the most quad one wins and all that. We're right there. So we'll worry about that in another week and a half or whatever it is. We'll get ready for Purdue and then try to go, see if we can do some damage in Minneapolis. We have all our goals in front of us except for the regular season. That one slipped away from us. So now you hit reset and let's get ready for a really, really good Purdue team, and move on from there.
One more question, go ahead.
Yeah.
Coach, in the first half, especially in the pick and roll, it seemed like Williams was kind of getting some of those mid-range jumpers. What ultimately did you guys change in the second half to maybe make it a little bit more difficult in the pick and roll for them to score?
Put Chucky on him was one adjustment. Put John on him was another one. Be better at getting over the ball screens. We stuck on screens. We moved the screeners defender up a little higher too at halftime. He still got some in the start of the second half. We didn't get over the ball. We didn't get over the ball screen well enough. We were sticking on it. But Chucky was able to get that kind of under control and also did a better job down the stretch getting him off his strong hand. We pushed him left a few times and pushed him into tougher shots.
Go ahead, Jeff.
You mentioned a couple times this year guys getting stuck on the screen, not getting over the top. There's been a lot of moving screens called this year. Do you think guys are sometimes trying to draw something like that and trying to initiate?
No, it's individual based. Some guys are better at getting over them than others. But that's a genetic thing or what it is. But some guys are more natural and more accustomed. Some guys are better at chasing. Some guys don't chase the screens really well off shooters, and they're really good on ball screens. Other guys, crash into screens or do a face plant into screens or get their hips locked up with them, but yet they're really good off the ball. So just keep drilling it, keep getting better at it. But it's really boiled down to it's an individual talent that some guys have, and some guys it's not their strong suit. Anything else? All right.
Okay, thanks.